Real transcendental experts in the theistic science of Buddha Yoga produce successful results, according to a plan which is in accord with providence. On the contrary, what was the result of the zonal error? It would not have collapsed if it had produced excellent or even good results in spreading Krishna consciousness, if it was actually guided by very perfect men. It didn't, it wasn't, and it cratered under the weight of its own contradictions. That was the first transformation, of course. Spiritual master in so-called ISKCON was and still is determined by the vitiated GBC. There have been 3 transformations, read deviations, of Prabhupada's branch of the Hare Krishna movement since he left physical manifestation. This does not count the 2 splinter groups, Neo-Mutt and Rittvik. They are not under the so-called ISKCON governing umbrella, although they splintered from the mothership back in the day. In so-called ISKCON, all of the gurus, post-Prabhupada, are institutional gurus. This includes the 11 great pretenders who kicked off the massive show bottle in the first deviation. In the late 70s and the first half of the 80s, they were expert only in playing the governing body and climbing the latticework of its bureaucracy. They were trained and ruthless cult manipulators, but more than this was needed in order to prevail during the initial internecine war that they seeded. Not only was there that war within the cult, but it spawned 2 competitors, one consisting of traitors, the other consisting of heretics, in the very early and very late 80s respectively. As such, the whole ever-developing, read ever-devolving situation appears too complicated to comprehend. Such is not the case, however, as genuine devotees do not possess a poor fund of knowledge. The real historical narrative, replete with all of those many complications, is still being explained and promulgated for your edification and realization. Hare Krishna.